Hello, everybody. Welcome to my show, Wizard of House podcast by Mr. T himself, Executive Realty, your realtor, here on the job all the time. So today I brought another wonderful guest that we all have thought about doing this with our homes, and this guest is doing that, and we're going to ask him several questions. But what this company does is you're not going to believe it. So I'm in the Daytona Beach area, Port Orange, and we have a hurricane coming as we speak. It's heading the Tampa or below that coast, West Coast. This afternoon, I would say by 5 o'clock, it'll probably landfall. And then it's going to come across the state. He's going to come see us. So our guest, he's the expert with hurricane shutters. And he does many different types of hurricanes. I'm going to turn it over to Tim. Tim, introduce yourself. Tell us what company and all of that. And then we'll get into all different types. And thank you for coming, Tim.
Mr. T, thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
My name is Tim Stipanovic. Our company is APS Hurricane Protection and Windows. We're based out of Port Orange. We are manufacturers of the Accordion and the roll-down shutter, a local company. And we've been doing shutters about 16 years.
Awesome.
That's what we specialize in. We are licensed for windows, but we really specialize in hurricane protection.
So thank you for coming. So I remember when I was selling homes at one point, the builders gave you these shutters. It came, and then the code changed, I think. And now I see double pane windows, but I don't see shutters coming with new homes. And so some builders were providing that. They had to, or it was part of the, and I think that was 10 years ago, maybe, something like that. And now I sell a new home. It does not come with shutters. Do you know anything about that code or what happened there?
Well, what I know, on beach side, you fall in a D category, and all homes have to have hurricane protection or impact rated windows.
Okay.
So it is mandatory. And it does seem like that code is getting closer to the mainland. Insurance companies, are looking for that as well.
They're wanting.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know what they did is they changed the construction code at one point. So what they did is they did more straps, with the trusses, and they tied down the top. So they kind of stopped making people or builders to give, they would come with the stubs around the windows, and they had those panels you put on and screw. So correct. I noticed that went away. So now even myself, I built a new house. I don't have impact resistant, but I just did regular double pane windows because the code, apparently the way they're doing the windows, they're secured, from what I know, stronger than before. The trusses are tied down a lot better than before. So right now on mainland is the issue. Yeah, on the beach side, I'm sure you do a lot of business there, right?
Yes.
You do do you guys do the roll down automatic?
Yes, we do the roll down shutter, the accordion shutter. We also do impact screens, roll down impact screens, corrugated panels,
wow,
as well as Bahama shutters and Colonial shutters as well. So there's pretty good amount of choices out there for each homeowner.
So on mainland, right? So let's say we're here in Daytona, Port Orange, and what type of, what is the, let's say, the most affordable type, and what is the fanciest ones that you do?
Most economical, I hate using the word cheap, but that the least cost is the corrugated panels. And there are 3 different types. You have galvanized, you have an aluminum, and then you have a clear polycarbonate panel as well. So,
I
and
see.
those
I've
are the
seen
type that you were
those.
talking with the pegs that stick out. We also do a track system.
All three of them have the pegs you can pick.
Yes, and all three panels will actually work together. So when you want light, you don't want to feel like you're in a cave, and you got all your panels on. We do one clear panel per window, and it'll allow light in.
Very nice.
So
And it's just as strong. That's
The clear panel is actually rated a bit more because it does take a little bit better of a hit as far as the impact rating a clear panel
does
is.
it?
Yes.
Really? And that's made of
Polycarbonate.
Polycarbonate.
Or Lexan. Yes.
Okay. I haven't heard that term before. And then the galvanized, the difference between galvanized and the aluminum is just
It's
strong.
a steel. Yes, galvanized is a steel panel. Normally comes in.
Yeah.
It's so
The
aluminum
gauge, you
comes in.
mean, the
Yes,
different gauge.
050 aluminum. That's the thickness of it.
Yeah.
And then it's a 40 gauge on the galvanized panels.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
And do you guys have an installation? Let's say I hire you. You come and put all this on for me, and there's a hurricane come in, and I call you and say, "Can you come put these on?" Do you do that stuff, or do you have a service?
Yes, we do. That's what we were doing last night for some customers in Palm Coast.
Oh, awesome!
We did all their second floor windows. It was an older gentleman that wasn't allowed on the roof anymore.
Yeah,
and so we took care of him.
So that's a great thing. So and you number them. I guess you have a system.
Yes. So the steps of a job, if you were to call us, we would come out, measure your openings, then I would email you over an estimate. Every job we do is permitted, so it's all designed up to Florida Building Code 2020.
Very nice.
So it's through, and then whatever municipality we are in, after the job is complete, the building officials will come out and inspect our work.
And do you make the panels here, or you order them? Or
No,
how do
our
you...
panels are shipped from a different company. So I will come out, measure per each window what they need to be, how many panels you need per window, and then I order them through a larger company.
Great. And then the roll down is a different story,
Correct.
For houses. So I guess there's insurance benefits to this.
Yes, when you have a full enclosure, that means every opening, every door and glass window is covered. You get there is a discount.
Yeah, because I'm hearing some garage doors have a glass panel there, and they're like, "Oh no, that's an opening." Great. What do you do with that?
Typically with garage doors, I have a guy that we use, and you have to get a wind mitigated door, a wind rated door for that area. So, back to the windows, when you were talking, our window design pressure is about 50 to minus 50 is what it is around our area, what the minimum requirement is. So Tim, tell me, what made you get into shutters? Was you just little, like you were playing with the little house and you decided to put the shutter on it?
It was. And you grow up, you said, "This is it. I'm doing it." How did you get into it? I know you worked for other
years
people.
ago, I had a transition in my life, was working a different job and then was looking for different work. And I started working as a helper in the service department for another company.
Very nice.
So I started with shutters, learning how to fix them first. So
awesome.
Yes.
And then you
about 2 years
others.
of fixing shutters. Then I got the job as being an installer. So all my training has been hands-on from guys with 20 plus years experience, handing it down to me as far as installation method.
So you've seen it all, and then you also did windows.
Windows as well.
You were doing windows, yes. So you can do basically anything as far as the hurricane. Like if you come into a house and there's a leaky window before you put the shutter up, you could say, "Hey, I recommend changing these windows."
Yes, we are licensed. We would replace that window. Water intrusion is huge. That's the first thing you want to take care of is you don't want water coming in your home at all.
So does the hurricane shutters does that stop the water? Even on your front doors? There's some places. This is where I'm at. Like in the bathroom, you have a little window. how do you prevent? I mean, does these shutters are one piece? There's not a drop of water gets on them from the top. Like if the rain hits above that, does it run down? How does it do that?
So depending on the application of the shutter, any kind of track that's above a window needs to be caulked in. That's by code. When we do a roll down shutter, you have a housing above that shutter where that roll rolls into. And that housing gets completely sealed around there. Oh, okay. So we are trying to keep any water from coming in. As far as shutters, the panels, Accordion, roll down, Bahama, they're really impact rated. So we are trying to keep that glass from breaking. But when you have a shield in front of your window, that driving rain is protected. It's another way from that water getting into your opening. Having shutters is key for that.
The driving rain.
Correct.
Yeah, when it hits the window, it could come in. Now it's hitting your shutter. It's not just for wind.
Correct.
You're saying it stops the water intrusion.
On a sliding glass door, you have a movable track. When you got wind coming, when you got rain getting blown in at 70 miles an hour towards that glass, it's going to find its way in through that seal. So every customer that we've had with a roll down shutter and they keep it down have had no water come into their glass doors at all.
This is so exciting to have him here because we have a hurricane coming in. I can hear the winds, the rain outside, and we have a hurricane shutter man sitting right here with me. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you making it today and, driving in this rain and to get here. Good thing you live in Port Orange like I do.
Yes.
Close by. So also you have, what is like this Colonial, and then we're going to get into impact screens.
Correct.
And I want to talk a little bit more about the roll downs and different roll downs. And then, but before I get into all of that, on Bahama shutters, I've always been leery. Are they as strong? Are they recommended? Are they more to make it look good, aesthetic wise? How do those work?
A Bahama shutter has a hinge at the top, and it will fold out, and you got pump arms on each side. So they are tested at a minimum 140 mile per hour as far as their impact rating. So every product that we offer has a Florida building code and is approved for Miami-Dade, the HVAC zone, if you're in that kind of zone. Okay. So yes, they are tested, and
what do they look like now? Are they looking a lot better?
Yeah, so a Bahama shutter, most of our customers on beachside that are looking for a coastal look or a beachy look will go with Bahama shutters. Mm-hmm. So, and it works as a benefit for driving rain, but also when you're not using privacy and shade on your window as well.
And I remember the old ones had a little...
We would call that a clamshell.
Clamshell.
Yes.
Now I'm sure they're a lot better looking.
Yes, you have like 3 different styles you can choose from. So normally when I come out and give an estimate, I will have a small sample of each style that we carry.
So do they just stay up when there's no storm, or that's the
yes,
thing.
When there's no storm, you can adjust that Bahama out to anywhere from 4 inches out from your window to 16 inches, depending on how much light you want to come in.
Oh, very good.
So, but for a storm, even on our stickers, you need to lock that shutter down. You got pins that slide out and Z-bars that will hold that shutter down. So for a storm, you got to follow a set of instructions we give you.
Okay. And so now we get to, what are Colonials?
So a Colonial is like a bifold. You'll see a lot of decorative Colonials on each side of a window. We do a board and batten, and then we do a slatted Colonial. So they have hinges, they fold over, and then they will lock into place. And something on with a Colonial, so some people like that traditional look, so it keeps the look of their home aesthetically looking like a traditional look.
And you can keep it on there. You don't have to put them on.
Correct.
Take them off.
So some benefits of a Bahama shutter, and a roll-down shutter, an Accordion, or you are not having to store something in your garage, pull it out, put it on your window. It's always there in place on your window.
Is Accordion... Is that you don't have to take that off?
Correct, yes. So an accordion shutter works. You have a bottom track and a top track. If it's a window, you one above the window, one below, and then you have stacks of material. It looks like an accordion. So as you pull them together, those hinges fold over.
I've seen those.
And then you have your center mates with the lock.
Yes, I've seen those. Now I know which one.
Yes. So
and they lock in the center. Click.
So within
that's nice.
20 seconds, your one window's closed up. You push a button, you're ready to go.
That's very nice. So, it's a lot easier than what do you call those?
The panels. Yes, panels. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and then the impact screens. I've seen those, and people swear by them. They're amazing. I guess they're like a curtain. It just comes down.
It's very much like a roll down shutter, so that, yes, the curtain or the screen does come down. It's held in on the side tracks. Typically, every roll down impact screen we do, it's remote operated. So you hit a down button. You can stop it at any point you like. So it is impact rated. It's also good for a solar screen, blocking the sun. And it does keep about 70% of the driving rain out as well. Yes. And you can also see through it. So you're not feeling like you are in a cave.
So if let's say I have a porch, right? And I tell you, okay, go ahead and do the screen, the impact screen. I don't need to put shutters on my windows under that porch anymore, right? I'm
absolutely
done.
Correct. Yes.
Just do one.
So a lot of lanais, that's a very good. You will have a French door, a window, multiple openings that need to be protected, and we can close in that lanai and protect all those. It also the benefit is pulling your furniture into that room now. You just gained however big your lanai is, 300 square feet to store your furniture in during a storm. That's a big plus of having a roll down screen or shutter to close in your lanai.
Yeah, so the same thing maybe with the front porch, anything with a cover where instead of putting some over a front door, you could do one outside, or you could, I guess it all depends.
Yeah, certain situations on the architecture of the home,
Yeah, so you do combination like maybe on some houses.
Correct,
It's not like, I have to go with impact screen all the way around. I can just do impact screen on my lanai.
Correct, yes.
Screen, and then do maybe roll down like you did for one of my clients.
Yes.
Another thing, guys, he did, which I'm really impressed. I've not seen this before, is if you notice, like you can always see these roll down shutters. You see the box. Oh, he's got hurricane shutters. Well, he builds a housing for it. He stuccos over it. He stuccos the track. You don't see it. It just rolls up and he hides up there. And it was amazing.
No,
what's that process?
Aesthetically speaking, yes, it's very impressive. I've had customers that have came home and not even seen their shutters because any of the structure, the housing or the tracks, we will blend in with the aesthetics of the home as far as if it's a pebble finish, a freestyle, or a knockdown. And then we have covers that go over the track and the hoods. Everything gets caulked in and then painted so it blends in with the body color of your home.
And I got to compliment you on that. It matched amazing. His hurricane, the roll down box. I don't know. Do you actually build a whole box on top of that, or do you finish the box itself?
Yeah.
You actually build the housing, right?
Yeah. So with the roll down shutters, we're manufacturers, so we will actually build that whole housing, and then we texture that housing to whatever texture is on the outside.
And what's
of the
that
home.
Built from? Frame?
It's aluminum.
Aluminum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how do you apply stucco on aluminum? That's
well, I do have a stucco guy I use, so he's very good.
Pretty
and
awesome.
So I can pretty much take a picture of a wall, and he can match that texture on our hoods.
Yeah.
So
and then you match the paint,
yes.
which I noticed. Yeah, like I said, I couldn't even tell that there was shutters there. And that was very impressive. I'm sure it's probably the most expensive on your line. But you have all different pricing. Am I right? Depending on what people want.
It's hard to give a price without seeing, so most of the time, like our process, we will come out, I meet the customer, go over what they are, evaluate their home, what they're kind of looking for, and give them a price in that way. Because every opening that we do or every shutter, it's built custom for that home.
So let's go back and, just so we got all these different kinds. I guess you come out, you look at what they currently have. You do your recommendations based on where they're located. If they're beachside, they have no choice, right? They have to go with the shutter and what type, I guess, as long as it meets the area
building code in that area,
building
yes.
Code. Then some people do impact resistant and they don't do any shutters, impact windows.
Correct,
have you had people do impact and shutters or no? Is that overdoing?
No, well, because on an impact window, water, and also on an impact window, it's the glass that's into the home. The back glass is what's impact rated.
Okay, good
the outside glass is as strong as a annealed glass, so that outside glass can still break, but nothing is going to get through the back glass on an impact window.
See, something we didn't know, guys. So a lot of people say, I have an impact glass. Well, on the outside, if a 2x4 hits it, the first glass will break.
Absolutely.
And the glass behind it, which is in the house, that's the impact resistant. So it's double pane, but the inside pane is impact.
It's the same material. You got a glass, and then you have that polycarbonate clear panel that's pretty much fused to that back glass.
Yeah, some people get a film, right? What is the name of that?
I
heard film that they put over the glass that makes it shatterproof.
We do not. It's not an approved hurricane protection.
You
yes,
don't like
so
those, yeah.
I mean, everything we offer, it's been tested.
What was the name of that? I forget.
I think 3M came out with like a laminate tape that you could film, like you said, that you can put over your windows. Yes.
Yeah. It's not something. Would the insurance still give them a break on that?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
So
we have the impact glass. Then we have different types of shutters. Then you have the roll down shutters. Some people have it manual. Now, what if I want a remote? I mean, do you do electric work? How do you do it? Is it electrical or is it with a battery, or how do you make it?
So with a roll down shutter or a roll down screen, it can be switch operated or it can be worked from a remote that sends a signal out to the motor, tells the motor what to do. And then taking a step further, we can do a system that works off your mobile phone.
Beautiful.
And,
I was going to ask you that next.
So you can be
Wi-Fi connected.
You can be out of town and lower your shutters remotely from the phone.
Wow,
and be protected. So as far as electrical work, we have to use a licensed electrician that I have. He's on every permit, so he provides us the power out to our shutters, and then we can power up the motors from his.
And again, I just saw one of his jobs, guys. You cannot tell, like, any work was done. Really, I couldn't see where you got the power. You know how some people do a job and you can tell, there's where he ran the wire and this is where he. It was very clean.
Yeah, we take every effort to hide our shutters pretty much. You're not going to see wiring. You're not going to see. It's going to be blended in as much as possible with your home.
So I mean, so you've done this for 20 years, maybe 16?
Yeah, a little under 20. Yes,
under 20. So what are some of your recommendations for someday like today? A lot of people are calling me. They're like, should we do shutters? I'm like, well, I've done shutters. I've done plywood. And I've done it so many times that I decided lately that I'm not doing any of that. I just have regular double pane windows. And the house is fairly new, so I'm not worried about water coming in because I have my house every year or two. I bring my painter. He goes around and checks everything, seals all the cracks, checks all the window. So I'm hoping nothing major is going to happen. But like, what are your recommendations for something like this? What is some of the basic things to prepare for a hurricane like today?
Well, first off, I would say getting shutters as far as the hurricane protection. In your situation, Mr. T, we would not want your windows breaking, so some sort of impact resistant shutter is what we'd be looking to do to keep your glass from breaking. As far as readiness for a hurricane, like safety tips, more than likely we're going to be losing power. So I would have batteries for your flashlights. You want water. In a storm, you get the flooding that happens, contaminates the water system. So you want to have, I don't know how much gallons per person per se, but, we have a family of 5, so we've bought a few cases of water. I think we've bought about 6 gallons, of regular water. Everything, we have kids.
That's why I couldn't find water. You bought all of it. I'm going to come to your house and grab
you are more than welcome, and we will be fully protected. We got roll down shutters.
I went to Publix. Everybody said Tim just left. This guy took all the water.
Actually, it was my wife.
These are Stipanovic.
Yes.
But as far as also like what I said, to keep water out, what do you recommend? Besides the shutters.
Besides the shutters,
Sand
yes, you can use sandbags.
You've seen it all. I'm sure you've been to people's houses before a hurricane or after, where they're like, Tim, come help me.
A few years back, like St. Augustine got hit pretty good. It was taking out the lower level of their homes, from the seas, from the surge that came through there. But yes, any effort is made. With
that was 2017, right? 17, 18.
Yes.
Yeah, but we had all that water come from seaside.
We were even up in Jacksonville when Jacksonville was having water come through their streets, all in the garages of the condos. So it was
wow.
Our shutters are not waterproof, because they go in a track as well. So what we strive to do is keep your glass or your windows from blowing open and breaking, with our shutters.
Or your front door.
Yes, absolutely.
Front door, I heard they open in now instead of out.
Well,
down. I'm sorry, backwards. Yes. It now opens out, right?
Correct, yes. The code is going where all front doors have to swing out.
Out.
Yes.
Yeah, so the wind doesn't push the front door in.
Correct, yes.
To open.
So having a shutter over that, it's a huge difference from the pressures, having the shutter over your front door.
Yeah, so to keep a slider from leaking, what do you recommend right now if I don't have a shutter? Just pray?
No, I have seen pig mat used as far as like an absorbance, and you put it behind the seal. You have a riser on that slider, and you're going to put it in between there. It's going to help absorb some of that water.
The mat?
Yes.
Okay.
And sandbags. I would absolutely sandbag the whole front of that sliding glass door.
What is it called? Pig mat?
It's like an absorbent mat, yes. But pig mat is the brand. Yes.
Okay. And you just lay it across that track. And you could also do it front door, right?
Yes, you can also even use towels. Well, I've had customers that have taken towels and helped that too.
And keep, squeezing them out.
You might. I have heard reports of people even running the vacuum, a water vacuum, and sucking that water because they got carpet. Vac? Yes, a shop vac. Yes.
Right. So those are all great tips. We really appreciate you coming. So Tim has been doing this for 20 years. He went and opened his own company 3 years ago. He's the guy you're going to deal with. Again, I bring nothing but the best to you. He's out of Port Orange, but as you hear him, he's worked in Jacksonville. He works in St. Augustine. He goes up and down the coast.
Correct, yes.
I'm sure, I don't know how far you go west to DeLand or...
Done DeLand, Haines City. We've done a lot of different jobs. Gainesville, we've been out there. So...
And then today, my last question to you is your house protected today?
Yes. I have full enclosure, so every opening in my house, and we have a mix of shutters too. We have roll-down shutters, and we have accordion shutters. And the other thing I like to say with shutters is even security. You know, the first shutter, I was working a lot up north, and the first roll-down we put in was for my wife on the sliding glass door for the master bedroom. You know,
that's a great point.
And our shutters are made for daily use. That's the best thing you can do with a motorized shutter is run that on a regular basis.
So, you know, somebody told me is that they realized this after they put a roll-down shutter, and you won't believe it. They put it down every night, and they sleep in. So if you're a nurse, like if you work fire department, and you come home and you want a dark room, am I right?
No, absolutely. I've had 2 different customers in New Smyrna, and they were both nurses. And because, you know, they sleep during the day and work at night. Yeah, so we did roll down shutters. We did a combination there too, you know, but in her living, in her bedroom area, we did roll down shutters.
Beautiful.
That she just hits a switch and puts her earplugs in and goes to sleep.
Darkens the room, and also even the noise. I think
there is noise reduction. Absolutely, yes.
Now with these shutters, which one is the most quiet? Like if you have driving rain is hitting these shutters, which one is the quietest?
The roll down shutter is probably going to be the quietest shutter that you can get. Yes,
and some of them, I know that you could leave these roll downs if you leave them up a little bit. You see light through.
Yes, we use a vented. I'm sorry, we use a vented slat. Yes, so using them for sunblock, you know, privacy. Excuse me. You can stop your shutter anywhere you like, but for hurricane protection, you need to roll your shutter all the way down, so all of those viewpoints are closed. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you wanted like a peak, you turn it up a little bit, then you put it back down.
We actually offer a viewport. So you can get the Lexan glass we talked about, or not glass, but the Lexan. So we call it peekaboo slat. You know, so we will normally do them. We do one at like the wife's level and then one at the husband's level. So when that shutter is down, they can look out and see what's happening out there.
Very nice.
So, and it also lets some light in too. You know, if you are losing power, that's another point. So every roll down shutter and impact screen we do an override with that motor as well. So if you do lose power, you can manually crank that shutter up or down, as well as a backup system. So,
and again, before I let you go, what are the maintenance things you do with these roll downs, or is there maintenance that you do or the owner can do?
Yes, we can set you up on a maintenance plan that we can come out, clean the tracks in your shutters. If you want to do it yourself and save yourself money, you can. The motors are made for daily use. So a regular used motor I've seen last up to 18 years on beachside. As far as your tracks, you want to keep your tracks clean. Wipe them out with a rag. A lot of times on beachside, you get that sand and grit in your tracks. So clean that out first, and then twice a year we recommend spraying silicone spray and then running that shutter up and down. So another big benefit is if you can rinse your shutters off, that powder coat will last twice as long by keeping that salt off of your shutters as much as possible.
Okay.
So you do want 3-4 times a year, even with an accordion, you want to go out there and move that shutter back and forth. Don't wait the last minute before a storm to make sure your locks are working. You know, you want to test that at the beginning of the season and then at the end of the season.
So you do have a maintenance program as well?
Yes.
That's great. Because not everybody, has time to do this stuff.
A lot of
So you come once a year, or?
Yes, twice a year is what we would do most of the time.
6 months.
And most of the time, like condo owners that they're living out of town and they have condos with roll-down shutters, we will go there, run their shutters for them, make sure everything's running properly.
So I can see myself, guys, right now. I hit all the shutters, and I'm going inside, and then power goes out, and now I'm stuck.
Well, on any door.
So how do I get out?
Well, on any door or, certain even bedroom locations, we do a manual crank.
From inside?
From the inside,
Oh,
yes.
that's good. I've seen them from outside, but not the inside.
No, on any door, I think by code, even you have to do 2 doors that you can get out if all your shutters are down.
Nice.
Yes.
I'll call you if I get stuck.
Come
let us.
I can.
So that's it, man. If you want to go ahead and give out your information, thank you again. It looks like the calm before the storm. The rain stopped.
Yeah, I can hear there's a little quiet out there right now.
Yeah, it's a good time for us to get out of here and get in the cars.
Well, Mr. T, thank you for having me. Like I said, my name is Tim. Our company's APS Hurricane Protection and Windows. We're based out of Port Orange. Our office number is 386-281-5151. I don't know if we can...
Cell phone, my website, email.
Our website is apshurricaneprotection.com. And on there, you can look at, we have many different sample photos of jobs that we have actually done, and the different styles of shutters if you like to put a visual on what we discussed today.
Okay, and who answers the phone when they call? Do you have a...
Yes, we have an office manager. Most of the time, it's Jessica that will answer that phone.
And then you'll call them back?
Correct, yes. She will schedule an appointment for an estimate.
And usually you show up there?
Correct, yes.
Okay, man. And good luck to you with the storm with the 3 kids you said you have. How old are the kids?
I have a 16-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old. Just turned 7.
You can put the 16-year-old to work. That's a good thing.
You know what? Knock on wood, she's great. She's very good. She's
on standby.
4.0 average.
Beautiful.
She's got her head on her shoulders. She wants to be a lawyer.
Wow, very nice.
Yes.
Well, thank you again, and good luck riding the storm. And I wish all the viewers as well, anybody in Florida, we all pray for you, including myself, that we ride the storm all safely. And you can always reach me at 386-299-8989 with any of your real estate needs or questions or about this podcast. If you want to attend my podcast as a guest, again, please don't hesitate to call me directly, 386-299-8989. And please don't forget to like and subscribe my podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. If you want to see the homes for sale in the area or just want a beautiful, easy-to-use website, it's mrtsells.com, mrtsells.com. Thank you again. Have fun with the storm. Bye-bye.